Hello everyone, and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So your eyes don't deceive you, we do have Alna out on the Pioneer server currently for testing. We're going to go through her skill description and also the preliminary testing which we've already done. But the summary of Alna is she is purely a PvP hero, which means that for the majority of players, you can safely skip her and, build the more meta Dream Realm boss killing heroes like Alicet or Mahira this season. Okay, so keep in mind, this is the Pioneer server, and the content is subject to change by the global release. But currently, how her skills stand, her ultimate is the Winter Anthem. It has a passive effect. At the beginning of battle, Alna will blanket the battlefield in frost, and it will reduce haste by 30, and also range of targets by 2 tiles. Reducing their range by 2 is actually pretty big, basically causing enemies to group up towards the front line, and making range heroes a little bit less effective. And this will apply for all units other than herself. The active cast of Winter Anthem, she'll let out a battle cry, summoning a blizzard. It will remove the haste buffs from any enemies. So for example, if they have like a Twins ultimate haste buff, Damien haste buff, anything like that, that is going to be stripped. It will deal damage, and that will be 80%. As you see here, damage to each enemy every 0.5 seconds for 8 seconds, which is overall actually a pretty high damage multiplier and some decent damage to the entire enemy team. While the Blizz is active, when Alna or the Winter Warrior takes damage, they will recover 50% of the health lost from that damage over the next 10 seconds. So basically, added health recovery for herself and her Winter Warrior, which we'll talk about with her other skills. Shared Resolve, this one is an 8-second cooldown. During battle preparation, Alna selects an ally placed in the same row as herself to become the Winter Warrior. That ally is immune to Winter Anthem's haste reduction effect, so there's not going to be this 30 haste reduction onto that ally target, who you select. But all other targets on the field, including our other allies, are going to be affected by this. And their maximum health is permanently increased by 15%. Which is a bit of an increase, and then an active Alna thrusts her spear to deal damage to enemies, restoring health to herself and the Winter Warrior, so more health recovery and some damage, and pretty good damage multipliers again. Now, Wild Whirl, this is their 7-second cooldown. This is their skill 3. Alna repeatedly swings her spear, striking enemies within a 1-tile arc in front of her twice, with each hit dealing this damage, 150%. She then sweeps her spear around, dealing this damage, final strike, to all surrounding enemies, and reducing the haste by 50 for 8 seconds. So because she's going to try to group up enemies close to her by reducing range, anyone who is within this 1-tile arc, they are going to get their haste reduced by 50, which is a pretty big deal. Pretty big reduction. So that is pretty nice, and as well as damage. Her hero focus reduces damage taken by 18% during battle to increase her tankiness, and for every 10 seconds the battle continues, the damage reduction increases by 7% and can stack up to 5 times. So in PvP, the meta is pretty fast usually. Alna definitely slows down this meta because of her survival and her kit. And for Winter Warrior, as we are going to see with her other skills. So like she can actually make the battle go on for 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. So she can get some additional damage reduction here. But basically, this just makes her tankier. Now, her exclusive skill is very important. It has an initial cooldown of 0 and then a follow-up cooldown of 20 seconds. And Chilling Presence, when a battle starts and every 20 seconds thereafter, Alna envelopes herself in icy winds, becoming immune to damage and control effects. And this is going to last for 7 seconds. Now, this is strong. 7 seconds of damage, complete damage immunity, basically cannot be hit by anything. And control effects, uncontrollable, unaffected. Now, level 4 is even stronger. After casting Chilling Presence, Alna also grants Winter Warrior the same immunity effect, so the ally positioned in a row. The first time either Alna or the Winter Warrior's HP drops below 50% in battle, Chilling Presence triggers automatically for both. So this is also a very strong effect. Basically immediately, because this is going to be cast when the battle starts, right? The Alna will also grant the Winter Warrior these immunity effects, which is, so for the first 7 seconds of battle, Alna and a Winter Warrior are going to be immune to damage for 7 seconds, and also not controllable for 7 seconds. That is very strong. And then, the first time either Alna or the Winter Warrior's health drops below 50% in battle, Chilling Presence triggers automatically for both. This effect can only be triggered 1 time per hero per battle. Now, what is strange here is it seems like either Alna or the Winter Warrior, when they drop below 50% health, it's just going to be a one-time trigger, and both of them are going to be protected. And now, so Alna and her Winter Warrior can only get this effect triggered onto themselves one time per battle, but at the beginning of the battle, and also every 20 seconds into the battle, every 20 seconds after that, you're going to trigger this effect, right? So in total, like if you have like a 30-second long battle, there are going to be 3 procs of this. You're going to have the initial 7 seconds immune to damage and control. Then when your allies drop Alna or the Winter Warrior drops below 50% health, then they're going to trigger that. And that's going to last for another 7 seconds. And then 20 seconds into the battle, it's going to again activate. And that's going to be a third proc potentially. So basically, you can have up to 3 procs of this, which is 21 seconds of immunity over a period of only 27 seconds, right, of a battle. And that's really strong. It is really strong. And then her Enhanced Force Supreme Plus, Alna and her Winter Warrior gain a 15% increase to their basic stats until one of them is defeated. And these all stats: attack, health, defenses. The first time either of them leaves a chilling present state, Alna or the Winter Warrior will freeze enemies within 1 tile for 2 seconds. So the first time they exit the state will be after 7 seconds into the battle, because immediately at the battle is casted. 7 seconds into the battle, then Alna, the Winter Warrior, will freeze enemies within 1 tile of themselves for 2 seconds and reduce those enemies' vitality by 50 for 10 seconds, which is a strong debuff. So basically, Alna has incredible utility, especially for one specific ally on the team. And you're now, if I show you some replays and the testing which is being done, she's a very strong supporting hero for PvP for a multitude of hyper carries. Basically, you can use her to defend Baelran. He's a good melee hyper carry, but that's not it. You can use her with Natsu. If we take a look at some of the replays here, you can even use them with range carries. You can use them with Faramor, who's a good melee carry. You can use them with Lenya. You can use them with Perseus. Even here, some people are using it with Seth. But basically, Lenya, very effective to be used with Alna as well. Baelran or Natsu. Natsu is a very effective melee hyper carry. If you have him, I think many people will not have him. But basically, there you have that. So really, the list is almost never ending of which heroes can pair up effectively with Alna, and you can usually find a good hero to slot in. And Lenya, surprisingly, is doing very well, and even Harak potentially can be used. So let's go ahead and show you maybe some attacks in here. We'll try to do some attacks. Okay, so here we have Alna Baelran combo, and that is definitely strong. However, we are gonna try to just nuke them really quickly. We'll try to go for an Alna, maybe Lenya strategy. Actually, no, we're going to try for Alna Faramor, because Faramor is a hero which a lot of people are going to have built up on their account, right? And we should be able to take very good use, make good use of him. So if we go for like Ravion to further buff up Faramor, we have the Alna, we can go for Theodore as well to buff up Faramor. And in this final slot here, who can we run? It'd be nice to have another protective hero. Maybe we can run Callan. What if we run Callan here? And just for some more protection. Okay, we're going to try this. So we have the Alna buffing up Faramor. This enemy is strong. This is a really strong set of almost all Celestial Hypogean heroes. Let's see what happens. Oh wait, they're running the seasonal artifact. So I should have ran a seasonal artifact of my own. Anyway, let's see what happens here. So Faramor's ultimate goes off. Callan was protecting us really well. Okay, and there we go. Now we're going to have great survivability. Normally the problem with Faramor is his lack of survival, right? But because you're going to have the Alna pointing him as a Winter Warrior, he's surviving very, very effectively. And he's just continuing to get off his damage. Now I think we probably are going to die because eventually, like, I mean, this has to run out eventually, but it's still not running out. And keep in mind, we're running a non-seasonal artifact. The opponent is running a seasonal artifact pack-bond spell, right? And they even have charms on some of those heroes. We have no charms on the team. So this just really shows you how Alna can make melee heroes specifically very strong. So anyway guys, I just wanted to make this video showing you Alna and her basically potential, her performance. She is a beast for PvP, but specifically only PvP. For boss content, probably no usage. I even doubt she's going to be used in Ravage Realm. By the way, she has been added to the Dauntless squad in Ravage Realm, which we were predicting because there are not many heroes there to begin with. But it's very unlikely she's going to see usage because her damage output is not high enough for boss content. And she also disadvantages your own team by reducing their haste, because she reduces the haste of all allies other than your Winter Warrior and herself, right? So probably not boss content or very minor upgrade, if anything. So it's just really talking about PvP. even AFK stages. I think there could be some use of her in AFK stages, but probably not nearly at, like, the Saida tier or even the other heroes we have. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Alna in the comment section down below. Are you excited for her? What do you think about her? Do you think about, or feel free to share any other synergies you think would be effective with her in the comment section. That's always interesting to hear about. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That is gonna be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.